Well, having completed the garden fence, you just have to move on to the next job. There's always something. And the next job is one of the garden benches. Well, another job that needs doing in the garden is to fix this bench. It's reached its last legs. It's not very safe at all. I was going to buy another one, but looking at the prices, it's cheaper to repair this. So I've got some new slats for it. The question now is getting these old slats off. You can see how these cross-headed bolts have been countersunk into the wood, which is not ideal. And of course, with them being mild steel, they're all rusty underneath. Now I've soaked them in WD-40 and they've been sitting here for a week, but I suspect they're not going to come off easily. Might have to grind them off with an angle grinder. But, you can see there how they're on a great mass of rust. Well, that was really pleasing. They all came out bar one. So I'm going to have to cut off. The slats are in a terrible, terrible condition. I'll go on a bonfire. Well, the new slats have arrived. Look absolutely superb. I think it's mahogany. You can get oak and Iroko, which are a bit more expensive, but these look really nice. And you can get them in different combinations, but for this bench I needed 9 55mm wide and 3 narrow ones, which you can see at the top there, which are 35mm wide, but they don't come with any holes. So the first thing to do is to mark out where I'm going to drill these holes, and to do that I've kept a couple of the old slats which I'll just lay along the new ones here so I can mark these holes quite accurately. I'm using M6 stainless steel button top bolts for this. They have a little Allen key fitting at the top. So I've got a 6mm drill bit to drill these holes with, and the length of the bolt, the threaded part, is 35mm. By using a bit especially for wood, it's got this little point on the end so you can more accurately hit the centre of the mark with that. And by laying it on another piece of wood, when the drill goes right through, you don't get that raggy edge which you would do if you drilled it over a space. So better just to rest it on a piece of wood and then drill through. Anyway, the holes are done now, and mark the point. The bolt fits very accurately. You can see on the original piece of wood, the bolt head was countersunk, which reduced the thickness of the wood. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to countersink these at all. I'm just going to leave them as they are, so that you've got the full width of the slat taking the strain, as it were. There are all sorts of opinions as to whether you should put wood preservative onto hardwood. But these clear wood preservatives don't seem to affect the wood too much. So I'm certainly going to spray the ends to feel where the holes are with this expensive wood preservative. And depending on how it looks will depend on whether I spray the rest of it. Well, that's them all sprayed. Top and bottom, sides and ends. Don't forget the ends. And I'll just leave them to dry now. Wood preservative doesn't provide any weather protection. It just prevents rot and boring insects. So I just need to give the slats a coat, or probably a couple of coats of teak oil. And a cheap old brush there to brush it in. It just sprays on with this, and then I'll just brush it into the grain. I was going to spray the ends forest green, but I quite like that rustic chic look, so I shan't bother. A nice lion motif. I bought them at B&Q, these benches. I think they're only something like 24 quid each. But it's a long time ago now, mind. I could have used the old bolts, but I've opted for stainless steel. This is the M6, or 6mm wide, 35mm long. It just comes with this small washer. To spread the load, I bought this bigger washer. It's 18mm. So now to put the bench back together again. So there's the bolt in the hole with the washer which spreads the load, and it's got this little Allen key fitting in the top. tighten it up with. So when I've come to fit the new slats, I noticed they're 20mm thick, whereas the old slats are only 16mm thick. So it's been a right mess about trying to get these new slats in, because in 4 places, 2 of the slats, which are on the bend, the 35mm bolts aren't long enough. I need 40mm bolts, I need 4 of them. I might have been better ordering 40mm bolts for everything, but there we are, it is what it is. That's a little bit of a problem when you come to fit the bench curves. The bolt isn't long enough. Well, that's it done, apart from the 40mm bolts, which I'll just have to order on the internet. Get half a dozen of those. So I'll just round it off nicely. There you can see the 40mm bolts. Just get that extra little bit. Whereas with the 35mm bolts, you don't get much to play with. Well, that's everything in place now. I just need to make sure everything is square before I tighten everything up. Just make sure the bench is a sort of diamond shape. It's a bit more fiddly than you think putting these back on, especially when they're a little bit thicker than the originals. The last thing to fit are the struts. There's 2 of them, and I've just got some little black brown headed screws for that. I just have to drill a little hole to take them and make sure not drill right through the slat, which would be annoying. Well, that's it finished. Very pleased with that. Probably last another 30 years, hopefully. The stainless steel bolts are a little bit bright. I might just give them a dab of matching paint at some time. But it's absolutely rock solid. So from the bench repair shop, on this breezy day, take care, I'll see you again, bye bye.